Welcome to Word Lesson 2 Basic Editing. This is where we're going to look at how we can make our document stand out by using fonts and colors and styles. So here in our textbook we can see we're in Basic 2, Lesson 2 Basic Editing. So here's the skills that we're going to be looking at: changing and organizing document views, navigating and searching through a document, selecting, replacing, and deleting text, cutting, copying, and pasting text, removing blank paragraphs, and changing information in our properties. Now you'll notice in your chapter you have exam objectives. These exam objectives have to do with the Microsoft Office certification exam. So if you're interested in going on and taking advanced Word after the class, you can look at these exam objectives and make sure you understand them, because those are what will be tested over in the certification exam. We also have our key terms listed here. So if you're familiar with Word and a lot of these information is familiar to you, you might be able to go ahead and go on to the assignment and take care of it. If not, then make sure you look through the textbook or read through the PowerPoint presentation that's located in Blackboard for you from the textbook. So here, one thing I want you to notice is these step-by-steps. Anytime you see a step-by-step, you can go through here and you can actually practice the skill they're talking about. This is having you download some of the files, but we also have those in Blackboard for you. So here we want you to locate and click the Starbright satellite proposal. So over here on the right side of the screen, you can see our Blackboard class. If I go to coursework and go to the Word area, I can come down here to the Word student data files, and I can go to lesson 2 and find that Starbright satellite proposal right here. Open that up, and anytime you open up a document, if you see this yellow bar across the top, that means that it's just letting you know that some files can contain viruses. If you're not sure where it came from, if you're just reading it, you might just want to keep it in that view, but if you know where it came from, then you can enable editing. So you want to make sure you enable the editing. So now we have this Starbright satellite radio document, and we can now continue on with lesson 2, and it's going to talk you through what you need to do. Okay, so we've already spoke a little bit in the overview about the different views. The read mode, this takes you through changing the mode. So we could go up to the view tab and the read mode. You can see how it changes the view to where you can just read through the text. If I want to change from this view, I can come up here into the View tab, and I've got the options here. The Edit Document is going to take us to the Print Layout view. The Web Layout view, this is what it would look like if we were going to save it to the web. Now these little marks you see right here are the non-printing characters that show us somebody's hit the enter key here. Excuse me. Whenever you see the little dot, then somebody's hit the space bar. If I want to get rid of those, I don't want to look at them on my screen, I'd go to the Home tab and I would just uncheck the Show Hide button. Now you don't need to worry about those printing. You can't get those to print. So if you accidentally leave that turned on when you submitted a file, don't worry about it. You're not going to get counted off or anything. So that's how you would work through this. Over here in your chapter, you can see this certification ready. How would you customize the ribbon? Right up here is the ribbon. We talked about this a little bit before, opening and closing it. It goes a little bit into some of the commands you can do with it, and we've talked about a lot of those already. So this is, make sure you read through the chapter. Even if you just scroll through it, kind of like what I'm doing here, and read through here, and if you haven't heard about something, read about it, the scroll bar, different things. A lot of the information, here's some keyboard shortcuts to move around in case your mouse quits working. So take a few minutes and look through here. A lot of the stuff, the skills in Word are the same as in PowerPoint. So you don't need to learn a whole new program. A lot of them are the same. So let's come back over here to the coursework and the lessons. And the lesson for Chapter 2 is Project 2.1, Updating a Sign. It's on page 64. So again, I'm going to come up here and I need to add some numbers or some. I'm going to go to page 94. That's not giving me enough, but I'm now on page 62. And so here is page 64, Updating a Sign. So to complete this assignment, we're going to be modifying a sign. So we're going to locate and open the sign document. So over here in Blackboard, you already have your document here. So I can click on the sign document and it's going to open up that. And again, it's in the protected view. I can't do anything until I enable editing. So once I enable editing, if I come back here, it wants me to save this as 2.1 new sign. So I could go up to the File tab, Save As. I'm going to find my folder for my Word assignments. I put that on my desktop here, Word assignments, and I'm going to go ahead and name this 2-1 new sign. So I've got it saved. Now the I-beam is your insertion point. You can see it's where it's blinking. If I want to select some words, I can either, if I want to select just one word, I can put my mouse over that word and click and double click, and I've selected one word. If I triple click, I've selected an entire paragraph. Now remember, in PowerPoint, a paragraph is any of the text before you hit the enter key. So even though this is just one line, this is actually the entire paragraph. If I click on the Show Hide button here, you can see there's the enter key's been hit, and so each one of these is considered a paragraph in Microsoft Word. So what I want to do is I want to position the I-beam before the M in Morning Blend. So I'm going to come down here to Morning Blend, and I want to select, I can either click and then drag to select it, or I can triple click to select it. Either one will work. And to replace and put some new text in, all I have to do is start typing the new text. You don't have to hit delete first. As soon as you start typing, it's going to delete it. So we want to change this to Grand Street Blend. So we're just updating our sign here. Now the replace button, the find and replace, is really a cool option. For a sign like this, you wouldn't really need to use the find and replace, but let's look and see how it works. If I come up here to the editing group, and I'm going to click on this, and I click on replace, I'm going to have a little dialog box here. What am I looking for? So in the find what, I'm going to type in the text that I'm looking for, and in this case I'm looking for Kona Blend. So you need to make sure you spell it correctly, because if you misspell it, it's going to look exactly for whatever spelling you have in the document. What I want this document to do is find any place it finds Kona Blend, and I want to replace it with Hawaiian Blend. Now we could have actually just replaced Kona and Hawaiian, but it wants us to replace the whole thing. So if I click on the Find Next, it's going to move my insertion point and it's going to highlight where it finds that saying, whatever I'm looking for. So if that's correct and that's what I want to change, then I can hit replace. If I want to replace this everywhere in the document, I could just hit replace all from the front, and it's going to replace everything, and I'll get a little box that says how many replacements it's made. Now again, in a document like this, it's not something that you would probably do, but if you have like a 50-page document and Kona has been replaced with Hawaiian, you can see how it would save you a lot of time. So now I'm going to say OK here, and then I have to close the little find and replacement docs, and I've replaced Hawaiian. Okay. Now, if I want to just replace just with plain text, that's all I'm going to do. Now if you look at the next one now, it's wanting us to replace it with a little more fancy Hawaiian blend. So I'm going to come up here and let's do the undo button. And you can see it's going to go back to Kona Blend. I'm going to go back to editing and hit replace. I still want Kona Blend and I want to replace it with Hawaiian Blend, but I'm going to click this little more option here because I'm going to get a little more specific. So I want to change, I'm going to come down here to the format box here, and I'm going to change the font. And I'm going to change the font to Comic Sans. So I'm going to come down here, these are in alphabetical order. I'm going to find Comic Sans. When it change it to Comic Sans, I want to make it bold italic, and I want to change the font size to 25. So 25 isn't an option, so I just need to come up here to size and type in 25. Except actually when I read this it says 26. I guess I need to go get glasses. And the font color, we want to change that to dark blue, which is right down here under the standard colors. And then I can click OK. And then I can say find next. Well, it's reached the end of it. Do I want to start from the beginning? Yes. Now it couldn't find what we were looking for. So let's see what we did wrong. I'm going to go ahead and close this and get off of Kona Blend here. Go back to editing and go to the replace. I want to find, right here it's looking for Kona Blend with this font, and we want new. We don't want that. We just want regular Kona Blend, and we want to replace it with Hawaiian Blend. And then let's come down here to Format, Font, and change this to Comic Sans again. We want it bold italic, and we want it to be 26, and we want the color to be dark blue. Okay, we're going to say OK. So before, what it was looking for, it was actually looking for Kona Blend in that font, but we want it to find Kona Blend with just plain format, and we want to change it to Hawaiian Blend. So now if we find next, it should find it, and we can replace all. We've done one replacement, say OK, and then we can close this. The next thing we want to do is we're going to go to Mocha down here, and we're going to change that to white chocolate. And now you're ready to save and submit it in Blackboard for grading.